Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Leo June 30th, 2022. Energies today can pull up questions about ownership or sharing issues, but they also remind you to slow down and get your bearings. You're finding every reason to refuel. Buried or neglected issues can demand your attention over the coming weeks, and working on these can pave the road to future success and happiness. After today's new moon, you can have great ideas about matters of the past and how to learn from and move past them. You may be clearing the decks for new beginnings. New energy builds for dealing with the past or private matters, letting go of things you no longer need, and attending to your mental and emotional wellness. A part of you can be very restless and hungry to experience something different, but a plan or specific direction is not yet in the offing. It's not the time to push decision-making. What you should push, however, is the usual boundaries of your imagination, as you can come up with excellent ideas. You're going inward and making peace with the current circumstances. This is especially true for those of you who are in the process of getting to know someone or perhaps releasing an old way of thinking. For instance, in addition to the Sun, your celestial ruler, and Moon joining forces in sentimental Cancer and your unconscious 12th house of closure, dreams, and all things behind the scenes, Venus will be in harmony with lucky Jupiter via your expansive 9th house of adventure, spiritual wisdom, and unknown territory. So, be it an outdated way of thinking or a new vision for the future, your calling and your destiny. How can you tap into your inner nurturer? Get in touch with your caretaking capabilities, intuition, and vulnerability under the new moon in Cancer. These secret talents and gifts may actually help you become attuned to your profession over the next 6 months. As the lunation unfolds a new lunar cycle, Neptune will also station retrograde in Pisces. Skirting responsibilities in your joint assets, investments, and debts are going to come to light during Neptune retrograde. Let go of a victim complex during Neptune retrograde so that you can assume more power and control over your finances. Tension may be running high today as things come to a great emotional climax. It may seem as if everyone is out to get you, but more than likely, this paranoia is simply a figment of your imagination. Don't get carried away with crazy scenarios that have no basis in reality. People are apt to be acting out in an animalistic manner, so don't be surprised if reason and logic are nowhere to be found. Family and friends feel especially drawn to you and are paying you a great deal of attention. If you've been intending to renew old friendships or resolve a dispute, but didn't know how to go about it, now is the best time to cast aside your misgivings and go ahead. You will be welcomed and forgiven, and glad that you took the first step. You're shining a bright light on almost any situation today thanks to your wide-open heart and desire to see through to the truth of the matter. It's a great time to get answers. Aware of being able to get plenty of attention from admirers. Wherever you are, the looks you catch from others now and then are obvious and direct. Opportunities for romance are available, but don't overdo it. Be selective, for despite the many chances for romance, disappointment still causes heartache. This could be a productive day for resolving some family dilemmas. Perhaps you have been having some heated discussions with a sibling or parent. Before you distance yourself emotionally from this family member, try to concentrate on healing the darkness between you two. If you focus on positive, loving energy, you should be able to see the light. You might make peace and have some wonderful, honest chats today. With a day at hand, be sure to pay attention to detail, and to finish the projects that you have begun before you take on anything new. Develop your leadership skills through communicating with those around you. The best type of leader is one who leads by example, not dictation. You will find innovation comes readily for you. Spontaneity later in the day could add a new twist to a relationship that might have been feeling a little bit monotonous lately. In the lead up to the moon's return to Leo tomorrow, this is always an important point in any month for having your antennas up while taking a wait-and-see approach. Especially when the moon is due to return during the month-long wind-down of your old solar year, for it means that this will be the last visit before the sun returns to begin your birthday month and new solar year. This will also give you a better read on the fairly significant cosmic shifts taking place as the first half of the year draws to a close. Even though it has been 2 days since the moon not only formed a friendly aspect to Saturn in your relationship sector but left your friendship sector, the support for friendship and relationship building not only remains but is strengthening. This is set to increase over the coming days as Mercury, the planet of communication, draws closer to the same friendly aspect. Our eyes in the sky. There's a lot going on in the universe today, starting with Neptune in watery Pisces heading retrograde. Over the next few months, you'll be forced to wake up from your daydreams and face the reality of what life is throwing at you, which can be somewhat of a rude awakening for some people. Luckily, your intuition will still be working for you, helping you to make tough decisions as your delusions all but disappear. A new moon in water sign Cancer adds to your emotional moodiness, putting the people you care most about in your spotlight. Not being able to help them is your biggest nightmare, so get ready for a busy day of trying to do favors for and coming to the defense of friends and family who need you to run interference or play referee. The Sun squares Jupiter in Aries late in the day, reminding you to keep your expectations low, and a Sun-Moon conjunction in sensitive Cancer emphasizes the relationships with the people in our lives who give off major feminine energy. If one of them lets you down now, it will be very difficult to deal with. Most interpersonal problems can be dealt with in a positive way, but it's uber important to keep your emotions in check. After midnight, Neptune stations retrograde in Pisces. When the planet of fantasy, illusion, and magic is direct, the proverbial wool is pulled more firmly over our eyes. We fall prey to the folly of optimism, becoming susceptible to subliminal messaging in media, or making improper assumptions within our relationships. While our idealism can make for poetic or romantic moments, we are less firmly rooted in reality. However, when Neptune stations retrograde, the veil of illusion is lifted, causing us to see our circumstances with improved clarity. We might be confused at what is revealed at this time, experiencing disappointment akin to waking up from a dream where we have won the lotto or wound up with our unavailable love interest. We see ways in which we have allowed ourselves to be deceived, or ways we have deceived ourselves. Yet, we also can use new revelations as a jumping-off point to participate in the world in healthier ways. Neptune will move backward until December 3rd, so seek to reframe burst bubbles as learning opportunities during this time. We are not ready to give up on our past, content to punish ourselves. Under this influence, we are brave enough to imagine that our lives might look different if we do the work. Following this aspect, the moon begins its void of course, suggesting that we focus on what must be released and purged, rather than immediately trying to fill empty space with something new. Replacement therapy can be valid, but this is an occasion where stillness and self-awareness are all the replacements we need. In the morning, the moon enters Cancer, ending its void of course which began early last night. We are just a few hours shy of the Cancer new moon, and the next 2 days will find us more entrenched in Cancerian concerns of home, family, and security. Our emotions may fluctuate more than usual now, however, this influence intends to show us that our feelings are a strength rather than a weakness. During this lunation, we come to a better understanding of where, and with whom, we can safely express our vulnerability.